Hey everyone, what's up? So, you know how it is, you're bored, maybe you're going through YouTube users' channels that, you maybe don't agree with 100%, to see if they made any new videos in which they brought up any new arguments or points that, maybe you can refute, make a video about, and, thus is YouTube. This is the case with this guy here. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about him. As you can see, his username is Theprolifeguy, a rather famous or infamous YouTube user, depending on which side of the argument you're on, I guess. Guy does videos about nothing but abortion. And he doesn't bring up any points that I haven't heard before, but I've been enjoying making pwned videos the last month or so, and judging by some of the views I've gotten, some people like watching them. So who am I to disappoint, me or my fans, or the few fans that I do have? This video is entitled Organ Donor Abortion, and I thought I would go through it and give my gentle critiquing, as it were. So without further ado, sorry, Simpsons reference there, I'm a big nerd. Let's get cracking.
Hi, I'm Gerard Paul, pro-life guy.
So,
I get arguments from pro-choice women all the time.
really? Just the women? Because that seems to insinuate that only women care about abortion, and I'm living proof that that's not true. I'm a man who cares deeply about the rights and issues and choices that women have, and I get pissed off when people like you make videos in which you want to take these rights and choices away. So don't be surprised when people pwn you, like I have, and I did. I actually have to give this guy thanks, because it was thanks to him and the pwnage video I made about him in the first event of the Coffin 666 Pwnage Olympics this year, that I got a new insurgence of subscribers, and which has currently snowballed to over 250 now, and give me a sort of a revitalised me and the videos I make in my channel. So I got to give him thanks for that. But anyway, let's go on.
They say, what about the woman's health? What if she's in bad health? What if the doctor told us she can die from having a baby?
That's a good argument.
You know what I got to say about that? You cannot take a life to save a life.
Okay, I think we have to first differentiate here between the baby, the fetus's life, and the woman's life. The woman's life is more important because it has more human rights than the fetus. The fetus does not have the human rights that, say, I have, the woman does, or you have, Mr. Pro-Life Guy, such as the choice or the right not to be aborted. It may have in the future, but if it's aborted, then it won't. So we're not going to base things now based on what they would be in the future, as it were. So by this logic, I mean, you'd prefer the woman to die, would you? Or maybe try and bring the baby to term on the slim chance that she may survive and the baby may survive. How very Christian of you. I'd never put a price on a human person's life, but by this argument, do you think that the fetus has more of a right to live than the woman carrying it? I mean, what gives you the right to say that? I mean, certainly your God doesn't. I mean, he's a genocidal maniac who, apparently thinks that life is so sacred, but as soon as the baby comes out of the womb, then it's okay for their heads to be smashed against rocks. What kind of God would allow that?
I mean, if we lived by that, and think about it, organ donors. One organ donor can save 3 lives. Are you going to take that organ donor's life in order to save those lives? Of course not.
No, but maybe not because of the reasons that you think. The organ donor is a person. I mean, it's a walking, talking, breathing, autonomous, fully conscious, self-aware individual that does not need another person's body to sustain their own life. I'm not going to kill another person. I said I don't put a price on human life. I'm not going to kill another person so I can save 3 others. I'm not going to kill a person so that I could save 30 others or 3 million others. Because no one has the right to say whose life is more important. Apart from you, apparently, who seems to put a price on human life. Maybe not a financial price, but definitely a moral price. By thinking that apparently the fetus has more of a right to live than the woman carrying it.
And that baby is just as alive as me or you.
I have no problem with saying that the fetus is alive, but again, it does not have the human rights, the basic human rights that I have or you do, such as the right to not be aborted.
That baby's a human being in your womb.
Again, I don't disagree with that.
Not to mention, it's your own flesh and blood.
Way to guilt trip them, man. Way to guilt trip them.
You know how the doctors are wrong a lot. A lot.
You know, those bloody doctors with their fancy, elitist medical degrees and their cold, hard facts and logic.
Okay? I mean, I've heard case after case. I talked to a lot of women who had gotten a report that they were going to die if they had their baby. But they went ahead and had their baby anyway. And they lived. And they're healthy, and their baby's healthy, and...
What? So they lived? I mean, they ignored the doctor's orders? I mean, that doesn't mean that the doctors were wrong. That just means that they were lucky that the worst case scenario didn't happen, which would be them dying, you know. Just because it didn't happen when they decided to take their lives into their own hands, that doesn't mean the doctors were wrong. And I'm not saying that the doctors are never wrong, you know, but that doesn't mean that we should never listen to them and trust in what they have to say. You know, I wouldn't trust, you know, a bum in the street when, you know, if I want to go to him to medical advice. No, I go to the person who studied it for years and who has made it their life's work in order to diagnose and help human beings when they have, you know, medical ailments or something like that. It doesn't, you know, everybody's can be wrong sometimes, but that doesn't mean that we should completely ignore what they have to say, because they are right the vast majority of the time.
I don't know what else to say about it. You cannot take a life in order to save a life.
No, but the fetus does not have the same human rights as... I've said this before. I'm not going to say it again. Just watch the first part of my video again.
As simple as that. You know, I'm trying to change some minds out there. I'm trying to get some of you pregnant mothers out there to keep your baby.
You know, you have no right to tell them what to do. And, you know, you can try and change their minds. You know, I have no problem with that. It's when you try to say that it's wrong and it's murder and the woman's choice should be taken away, then that's when people like me get pissed off.
It'll be the best thing you ever did.
Well, how the hell do you know? Can you see into the future? Do you know what kind of life they would have if they had the baby, or what life they would have if they didn't? No, you don't. So shut up.
Believe me, that baby is a human. From the first day of conception, it has the eye color, the hair color, the facial features, the IQ, the personality. It's all set within the first day of fertilization. The first day.
Okay, it doesn't really matter if it was set within the first day, or the first week, or the first month. We're not going to give human rights to something because of what it may be in the future. I said in that pwned video I did about you, you know, the video that I talked about earlier. You know, I'm not going to put someone into jail because they may rob a bank in the future. You know, I'm not going to give a law degree to someone who has just started law school, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So we're not going to give human rights based on what something or what a fetus could be in the future. We don't know what's going to happen in the future.
I implore you to keep your baby. It'll be the best thing you ever did in your life. Anyway, I thank you for watching my video.
How would you know? I mean, you know, we as men can only think about, can only do something about women's rights. I can only do so much, you know. I will never know what it's like to have that choice, or to, you know, to have a baby and think, oh, I want to, you know, I'm going to choose to have an abortion. But at least, you know, I want them to have the choice. You know, even if I didn't agree with abortion or not, they should still have the choice. You know, this is what equality is. You know, the very definition of it should be, you know, allowing people to have the choice to do things, even if you disagree with them. And I'm, you know, if a woman wants to have an abortion, that's fine by me. I could never ever tell a woman to do something against her own will. Apparently, you are not the same as me. But you know what? I think I'm the better person for it. If that sounds arrogant, you know, I don't care. Anyway, that's all I have to say, everyone. Hope everyone's doing alright.